I was taught in my chemistry way back. It's called laughing gas. There are certain way it makes you feel,
Yeah.
and then people have now adopted it as a recreational drug again. What thing we know go adopt as a recreational drug? NDLA is doing its bit within the ambit of its mandate, but the fight against drug goes way, way, way beyond NDLA. Several other levels of the society must be involved in that fight if we are going to, make any dent at all on that major problem. Otherwise, the way the rate of consumption of drug is going on in this country, I wonder what will happen to us in a few years down the lane.
All right. 2 pilots survived Nigeria Air Force aircraft crash in Benue.
Yes, those gentlemen were able to eject themselves from the aircraft, and they ejected to safety. Currently in the hospital under the watch of medical personnel. But I'm glad that they were able to eject successfully in that aircraft. It's also a call beyond military aircraft to also the civilian aircraft. There have been a whole lot of near accidents in recent months. And when you start to see that, regulators must step into that place and create an order. Otherwise, a disaster may be brewing, and that is very dangerous.
All right, from the nation, let's go to the sun now. Senators, reps to spend 40 billion naira on SUVs.
It's a usual thing. I still remember very vividly Senator Dino Milai. I think he was in House of Representatives then, when he come on air to come and defend car purchase by the House of Representatives. It has not stopped, and I don't know if it will ever stop. These SUVs, how many of them are innocent? That is my first call. How many of them are from car manufacturers that are here in Nigeria? Or are we importing the whole of these vehicles? Do they take pride in consuming Nigeria? My take on matters like this.
Or are you begging the question?
Well, maybe. my take on matters like this is that as far as public procurement is concerned, we have to give emphasis to vehicles that are made in Nigeria. And those government officials who want to ride other vehicles, it is within their right to want to ride it. Let them buy it by themselves. Sounds extreme?
Yeah, especially in a season where we expect every hand to be on deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. State police, panacea to ending insecurity. This is from Onitiri.
It's always been there, but it doesn't make it less tricky. I admit too, and I have support to a very high extent that it will help dramatically in curtailing insecurity issues. But we must address the fears that comes with state policing. And the fear is the number one issues around capacity of certain states to pay. That if you give a man gun, you give him uniform, you refuse to pay him salary, you are creating a problem. Number two is how politicians use police. Already when the police is national, we know what they are capable of doing. When the police become state police, what will they do? So those fears are there, and we must not pretend that they don't exist. Rather, we should find solutions to those issues so that we can have state police that will be effective.
Southwest doomed if they don't support Tinubu. This is from a former PDP chairman.
I don't think it should be about Southwest. I think it should be about Nigeria, because for now there is a precedent in the saddle. Maybe tomorrow the court might say, "Oh, you didn't win that election," and remove him. But for as long as he is there, he is the precedent. We owe it as a duty to support him, because if he fails, it is not just him that fails.
The country.
It is a country that failed, and that is the thinking. That should be what will drive how we support him.
This has been in the news before. Court gives DSS 7 days to release or charge ex-CBN governor Emefiele.
Yeah, that was the first court. They said, look, you can't keep this man like this. Charge him or release him. And I learned he was charged yesterday. But another court has said release him that same yesterday. So hopefully we will see certain actions in that space very soon. Judicial pronouncement must be respected under the rule of law. And the president promised in his inaugural speech that there will be rule of law.
All right. Federal government earmarks 500 billion naira for 12 million poor, vulnerable Nigerians too. Senators, reps get 70 billion.
When I first commented on this sometimes yesterday, I have a few problems with that matter. Number one is this supplementary budget part. We had a supplementary budget in 2022. That supplementary budget was for a purpose. In fact, that supplementary budget was birthed after the flood of 2022. It was meant for works, number one, water resources, and agriculture. Those were the three major, there were four things, but those were the three major issues. The reason was because the flood destroyed road infrastructure massively across the country. So we had about 704 billion voted for works. Number two, we had water resources issues. We asked ourselves, why did this thing devastate us as much as it did? It was because there are a lot of investment in water resources management that have not been made over several decades. So water resources was a major issue. Agriculture was also a major issue because a lot of farmlands were destroyed. Farmers suffered a great deal. Now, if we're taking 500 billion out of that money, my question is, how do we address the initial reasons for which that supplementary budget was put in place? Number two were the issues of certain strange allocation in the new ordering. The budget has been reordered. And one of it is about 70 billion said to be allocated to National Assembly for new members to settle. And I'm asking myself, has there not been a budget provision in our 2023 budget already for the National Assembly? What is this new addition about? It may not necessarily be a bad thing, it may not necessarily be a wrong thing, but I think there is need for better communication as to what exactly necessitated this additional provision for the National Assembly. The rumors out there is this a bribe to National Assembly for them to pass all these things? So it may not necessarily be a bribe, but communication has to be much better than what we are seeing right now.
All right, just gone 7:30. A bit of sports news for tennis buffs. It is Carlos Alcaraz versus Novak Djokovic.
Djokovic. Will it be today?
Tomorrow.
Interesting thing.
Wimbledon final. The young versus the old.
The old veteran. But Alcatraz, or what's that guy's name, is on fire for now.
That boy is something else.
He's something else. But it would be nice to see the old and the young. It will be a battle of the titans tomorrow. I can't miss that for anything.
Numbers 1 and 2.
Numbers 1 and 2.
All right. Let's move quickly to the Guardian newspaper. Electricity meters plot against $155 million World Bank loan thickens.
Well, I don't know why anybody will plot against the loan, but the devil will be in the details of that news. If there is a resistance to loan, what will really come to mind is the fact that we're already heavily indebted. But if it is something that will help us unlock power, one of the major drawback in this country, maybe we'll take a second look. So we get a copy of that paper so you can get more details about what is going on with loan in the power sector.
And this one, court sets aside arrest, detention of Emefiele, orders release.
Yeah, the same story we've taken. Yeah. Let's see how that plays out over the next few days.
Niger Delta ex-agitators seek more economic development.
I'm glad they are seeking more economic development. I'm also hoping that they themselves are examples of the development they would like to see, or some elements of the development they would like to see. Some of them have made so much money from government over the years of agitating. Those their leaders, so much money. And the question is, when you go to the villages where some of these people come from, I've not been there. Tompolo is from a village, Asarido Kubo is from somewhere. There are so many of them that have made so much money from several governments in this country. What impact did they also make in their societies? And it is not just the agitators. There are resources, the communities in the South, the elites of the South have made so much money from oil companies, from government. How have they impacted their society? Even the structures that government set up, like the NDDC, Niger Delta Ministry, it is the same elite that are mopping up the old funding of those institutions. How have they impacted their society?
To this one now, Peter Obi laments Southeast sit-at-home impact on businesses, blames criminals.
Yes, I'm glad he's speaking out to it. There are more of the political leaders as well, who need to speak to it. It is the way to stop the madness that is going on around sit-at-home. You cannot want to punish a man who sits in Abuja by punishing your own people. It doesn't add up. People need to be able to get up and pursue their economic activities. If you want to protest, go to Abuja and go and do the protest. That is where the issue you want to solve is. But suffering, creating further problems for a suffering person, you don't want him to do his business. He's already suffering. Because you're unhappy with another man who is still sitting in Abuja, I can't explain it.
Madness. All right. Take you to Sudan, Bolaho. Sudan, United Nations says 87 buried in mass grave in West Darfur.
That's a very sad situation. What I don't understand is that it appears as if the world is just watching as Sudan self-destruct. So rather than certain interventions that should be able to bring the war to an end, people are more interested in selling arms and ammunition, and people are more interested in how they provide succor to women and children and all of that. How about we even stop the circumstance that is creating the suffering that you are suffering? You know, you want to help people who are suffering. Why not stop the reason why they are suffering? There are certain parts of wars that I will never be able to understand, especially wars on the global scale. I ask myself up till today that who are the true gainers of the Ukraine-Russia war? I can't put an answer to it. And I'm asking myself, if we put 10% of the effort we are putting in aggravating the war in Russia-Ukraine, if we put it on peace among the two nations, we probably might have put a stop to that. But nobody looks in that direction. Someday, maybe we'll leave that to God. Abi?
I hope you're not leaving too many things to
God. Eh?
Yeah, well, I hear this. This is a rather curious one. Suspected attacker of Apostle Suleiman arrested, confesses.
Oh, well. He confesses?
Yeah.
I hope
the idea was to kill him.
I hope they got the right guy, though. I learned that he was the convoy that was attacked.
Oh, yeah.
Was he only one man that attacked the convoy? You know, I don't know. But it's good to know that an attacker has been arrested and that he's confessing. But I have my concerns about that particular story. Hopefully, the police will drill down and ensure that this investigation is closed and people who have done the wrong things are brought to justice. It's also amazing how it is bulletproof cars that save men of God and not... okay, maybe we'll leave that matter.
Okay, CBN limits bank executives' tenure to 24 years.
24 years is a whole lot, though, as a bank executive. But it's something that the regulators must continue to pay attention to. Otherwise, those things are open to abuse. I saw a circular from CBN yesterday as well in that direction. So it's very important. Financial services, once things go wrong in that place, the whole country will have massive problem. So regulators must be on top of their game as far as corporate governance is concerned. This is at the heart of corporate governance in financial services.
Okay. Tribunal reserves judgment in APM's petition against Tinubu's election.
Yes.
We got that from a previous paper.
Correct.
Yeah. How about this? Zuckerberg, Musk trains with UFC champions ahead of cage fight.
Zuckerberg and Musk trained. Can you restate?
Zuckerberg, Musk trains with UFC champion ahead of cage fight. The idea is to get the Guardian and
read the full story. This guys they are fighting on the business side of things. Musk is Twitter, and there is now Thread by Zuckerberg, and Thread is probably the fastest growing platform in the last few days. So those are two huge players in that space, and there is a major fight. But what I don't understand is how this is being linked up with a real fight somewhere in this news piece. It would be nice to read the details.
Okay, to the Daily Trust now. After subsidy removal, businesses, households find succor in gas-powered generators.
Yeah, gas-powered generators are becoming more spoken about, being adopted. A lot of companies have adopted gas-powered generator before now anyway. But for household and small businesses, it is still a new thing. Converters are being offered. In fact, a few days, I was surprised. This is the ingenuity of Nigerians. Within a few days or a couple of weeks of removal of subsidy, we started seeing those converters that could turn your PMS generator into gas generator. So these are all part of the adjustment that will happen by virtue of the fuel subsidy removal, and the space will continue to evolve over time.
All right, Chief Justice of Nigeria's son becomes a judge.
Interesting. Well, it's not like a chieftaincy title. This one, there are processes for becoming a judge. So if he stay in line, he might also end up becoming a chief justice sometime someday.
Oh yeah. Ambode storms Aso Rock 2 weeks after reuniting with Tinubu.
I don't know why they use the word storm. I saw him yesterday too at Aso Rock. It was in very high spirit. It's a good thing. Apparently, the whatever might be the Cold War has been settled. Ambode is cool with Sanwo-Olu, is cool with Tinubu, and that is how politicians are. There are never. It's never personal. It's a matter of interest. Once they can realign their interest, they come together.
Yeah, no permanent friendship.
No, exactly.
No permanent enmity.
Correct.
Okay. Tinubu off to Kenya for AU meeting.
Yeah, last week it was ECOWAS meeting. The next one is the AU meeting. It's an important thing. Regional issues, African issues, are things that a country like Nigeria cannot afford to take a back step. We must be right there at the forefront. So let's go out there and discuss and negotiate better terms, better things for Africa and for Nigeria in particular.
Yeah, Customs is saying smuggling has drastically reduced after removal of subsidy.
Of course, it will reduce because the incentive was also reduced by virtue of the removal of fuel subsidy. It doesn't mean that some elements of smuggling will still not be happening, but when you reduce the incentive to smuggle from 400 naira per liter to say 50 naira per liter, you will dramatically cut down the number of people that will be able to smuggle because the trade becomes much less profitable for them.
How about this? Oil theft. Shippers, experts seek probe of vessel arrested with stolen crude.
it can be probed, and I agree perfectly with them that we should go ahead and probe. And the reason is simple. Poor people don't own ships. If we're going to deal a proper blow on oil theft, we must be able to bring the real merchants, the big boys behind the crime, to book. Ships are registered. The names are there. So the owners of a particular ship can be known. If the owner of the ship is not the one that used it for impropriety, the person he leased it to can be known. So the track is right there. If we want to investigate and bring people to book, we can do it.
Okay, this is a heartwarming one. Lifetime inmate bags Open University postgraduate degree from prison.
Not just first degree, it's postgraduate degree, and it's in jail.
Oh yeah.
Okay, those typically are some of the considerations for releasing or giving certain leniency to some prisoners if they have repented and they seems to be capable of adding value to the society. Their cases may be reviewed, and if there is need to forgive them, we forgive them.
Super Falcons Old War Horses for 2023 World Cup.
So I've not been following Super Falcon. I'm not able to really comment on that.
Okay. Of course, the World Cup is opening on the 20th.
Yes, so.
In New Zealand, am I right?
New Zealand.
Yeah.
Tiny, small country of about how many people? Like 300, 400,000 people.
How many are you here?
We don't know.
Okay. Yeah, in the same vein, the Wimbledon female final will be on today between Jabeur of Tunisia and Vendrusova.
Vendrusova.
Yeah.
The names that have dominated those things for so long in the female tennis are not there any longer. The same thing is happening to the male tennis too. Djokovic is a veteran, no doubt, but Alcaraz, that boy is a wizard.
I'm spying on the screen behind you.
Yeah, show you the guy. No, this is not him.
No. This is Djokovic.
This is Djokovic.
Yeah. I have the Nigerian Express newspaper, news as it breaks. Uzodimma to Tinubu, Southeast needs your intervention to fight sit at home.
Yes. Whatever intervention the president can make, including revisiting the Kano issue, I believe he should take a look at it. The Kano issue has two dimensions to it. There is the judicial process, but there is also a political resolution side of things. Maybe it's time that we look at the resolution of that matter as part of solving that problem in the Southeast.
Balahan, we are done with sharing stories from the newspapers available to us this morning. Time for the listener to be a part of the process. How do you react to the story or stories we shared with you? 0700 903 903 903. Let's get you talking now. So I have a first caller online. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Stephen Joe.
Yes, sir. Your name, where you're calling
My
from?
name is Austin. I'm calling from Ojo. Good morning to Mr. Pelamo as well.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I just only have one story on that paper that says the house for 70 billion for them to settle down. Now, my question is this. Before those people came to the house, did they have money to contest for in the election? Of course they do. So even if it is not in this, in their plan, it is in the supplementary budget, can them come out to say no? We are also facing this money to economy. The 500, the 500 billion. Can the president say, okay, no, I am going to feed the mini refinery and channel this to the economy. Give subsidy to food, housing, transportation.
All right, 60 seconds out. Thank you.
Can't people think outside the box and at least sacrifice for once?
Yeah, we'll leave it there.
It's not likely that people voluntarily give up money. That's the reality.
Politics.
Which is why, for me, the right thing is still to communicate to us. Let us understand exactly what this is all about. There must have been a budget in place for them to settle down before. This is not the first National Assembly we are having. Why is there a special provision for under supplementary budget for them?
All right. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Citizen Jones.
I greet you, sir.
My greeting to Baran or two.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Nemeka from Edibo.
All right, Nemeka, you are on air. Yeah, let's go.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Mr. Jones, please, we comment about past Senate and the House of Rape. We call them a rubber stamp. What can we call these people now? This current Senate and the House of Rape. The man never finished.
Wait, who called them rubber stamp?
I said Nigerians are calling them rubber stamp. I said, what would they call this one down? These current people now.
How this one go tire them?
This one, I don't know what we call them because they know the Mr. President did not even sign this secret of himself. They don't approve for their house there. No, maybe they not take this way to carry us this time. I beg. Maybe they do this maybe they ask us small questions before they will sign or approve anything for us.
Yeah, Nemeka,
we are begging them.
Your senator and member of the House of Reps, then they there too.
I said the way they approve this one there, we are afraid, you. We are afraid of this.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. 0700 903 903 903. Which of the stories, which story or stories caught your fancy? How do you react to it or to them? Let's get to hear you now. Bola, the journalist does not manufacture news.
Yes, we just
he reports. Yeah.
That's it. You know, he was talking about the way they.
Good morning.
Good morning, Citizen. This is Obi calling from Ikeja.
Obi, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I want to know, why is the Imo State governor going to see the president several times about Imo State without going there with other stakeholders? You see, Tinubu State governor has gone there, talked about Nnamdi Kanu. Anambra have gone there, talked about Nnamdi Kanu. His one is not talking anything about Nnamdi Kanu. Does he have any beef with Nnamdi Kanu? Let him let us know, please. Thank you very much.
Many thanks. Okay, 0700 903 903 903. How do you react to the story or stories you heard in the news just now? Let us know. Well, Bolaho, only the Imo State Chief Executive can answer that question.
Yeah.
But
the fact that
I think that the sit at home is also relative to the Nnamdi Kanu story.
the sit at home has several interesting dimensions. Number one, Nnamdi is from Abia. Sit at home doesn't happen where he came from. Where in Abia. Sit at home is prevalent in 3 states: Enugu, Anambra, and Ebonyi.
Imo too to a certain extent. Then the fact that it is not in the news that he spoke to the president about Kanu doesn't mean that he did not speak to the president about Kanu. I hope we can keep that away from others.
Yeah. I've done that. Mr. Jones, thank you.
Yeah, your name, where you're calling from.
Good morning. Polycarp from Elasa.
Yes, Polycarp, go on.
Yeah, all this interest and emphasis on 500 billion, 70 billion and all of that, like the first speaker said,
Why can't they use this money to build, refineries and all of that? And let me tell you, from all these things they are saying now, I will advise them to go back to subsidy. Let them go back to subsidy thing, because there's no reason why you will say you want to stop subsidy and you are sharing money. Let them go back to subsidy. That is my own story. Let them rebuild our refineries and all of that. What are they talking about sharing money? Who brought that? Did Nigerians tell them they want share? If they give us 80,000 for 26 months, what happens thereafter? Thank you, sir, and God bless all of you.
Bless you, too.
You say the contracts for the revamp of the refineries have been awarded already, so there is no need to start thinking of pumping additional money into those refineries as we are.
Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Your name, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ejibo. My name is Mr. Amadi.
Yeah, Amadi, go on.
Thank you. God bless you. You see, the problem we have in this country is just because these people that are saying they are rulers, they are the ones that are forcing themselves to us. We did not ask them to enter there.
But we elected them.
70% of them, Nigeria did not elect them. That is why they are behaving like this.
I don't know where you're getting your information from.
Yes, because they connect with INEC. You see, this last election, you saw what happened in Imo State. Out of 27 local governments, 27 APCs are there. Is it possible? Look at what is happening in East now. Look at what is happening in East now. Most of them is deriving happiness on it. You understand what I mean? Since most of them entered there, that is where the problem of Imo State and the East started with Ebonyi, former governor there. We are watching them. And I know that God must surely visit them, because even in the Bible, those people that are eating the people's wealth, they don't go well down. So whatever that is happening, Nigerians and the people of East is watching them. Look at what is happening now.
60 seconds out. Thank you very much.
The interesting comment about that is that in the House of Rep, there are at least 40 members of the Labour Party there. There are PDP members, much more than 40. The question is, when this was being passed, did they raise a different opinion?
Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. Citizen Jones.
I beg, keep your radio out of it. Keep your radio out of it, please.
Okay, let me help it.
Please, help us, not just help me.
Okay, I'm with you. Let me off it.
Off it, I beg.
Hello, sir.
Your name, where you're calling from?
Pastor Francis from Lagos.
Okay, Pastor, let's go.
Okay, the problem with Nigeria is corruption. Until we kill corruption in this nation, Nigeria will not move forward. There's nothing about it. We have problem. Our problem is just that corruption. Until we have senators that are free from corruption, this country will not go nowhere. That is just the basic truth. And if you look at this 500 billion naira that they just assigned now, what are they going to use it to do? It's just corruption. They just want to siphon this country. God will judge this nation one day, from the church to the government. Because the fear of God has eluded this nation. You don't see the fear of God anywhere in our government. I don't know what Tinubu wants to do. He wants to keep this nation. Hunger everywhere. May God heal this land in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you. Except for me, Bola, it is not about Tinubu. It's about us.
That's what I just said. For example, people, it is Tinubu, it is APC. I said there are PDP members in that house. There are Labour Party, huge number of them. Did they speak differently?
All right, room for one more call, and then we pack it all in for this morning. Which stories tickle your fancy this morning? Share your sentiment with us.
And by the way, the duty of... Okay, you have another caller.
Yeah. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, your name, sir, where you're calling from?
My name is Frank. I'm calling from Ejibo.
All right, Frank, be frank. Let's go.
Yeah, just a few comments. Federal government is the driver of the so-called sit at home and associated insecurities in the southeast. One,
federal government is the driver?
Yes, is the driver. They are the ones fueling it. Where did Asari Dokubo get his equipment of war that his militants are using to come and enforce the so-called sit at home?
Where did you get that story from?
Have you not heard about
No. Don't tell me what I've heard. Oga, listen. Do not tell me what I have heard. Please react to the stories I shared with you. If you are not ready, I say thank you. Thank you.
How do we begin to blame problem in the southeast on Asari Dokubo? Is it the proud citizens of the southeast will not accept it to say that it is one man from the southeast called Asari Dokubo that is tormenting the entire southeast, and the southeast has no solution to it? And he said it has IPOB, he said it has ESN. Still, one man from the south is causing all that trouble, and he cannot curtail it. I know many citizens from that side who will not take that from you. How can you say he's Asari Dokubo? The governor of Anambra was particular in saying that, look, all the ones we have arrested, they're all Igbo. So Asari Dokubo is hiring Igbo to disturb Igbo land. Come on, let's stop these things now.
Well, Bolaho, our job is done.
Yeah, we've done our part.
And I cannot but thank you very kindly for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Another Saturday is here. We share the sentiments. Bye-bye now. Okay, our next show is up in another minute. Please stay with us.
In for the perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, number 42, Muritala Muhammad International Airport Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in a beautifully appointed rooms featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your everyday need is met. We also offer complimentary pickup and drop-off from the Lagos Airport.
Take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant.
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So, why wait? Book your stay today and experience ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333. You can visit our website at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort.
We have been serving you hot and fresh content on radio, and you have been loving it. Now we're taking it further. Catch us live on YouTube at BOP TV for all the juicy content you can't resist. Talk shows, exclusive interviews, news, lifestyle, and more. It's all about you. BOP TV, show up, speak up.
Our
Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less. The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and cold berry ice cream, delights in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and cold berry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, Festac Town, 28 Adenira Ogunsanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1. Romeo's Pizza and cold berry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions.
Hello, this is your good radio pal, Citizen Jones Hussein, with the voice of the people, VOP Radio 90.3 on your dial. Join me, Citizen Jones, every Saturday 7 to 8 a.m. on newspaper headliners and 8 to 9 on Citizen Jones this morning. I'll be sharing 2 solid hours of compact radio with you. Keep the date, Saturday 7 a.m. to 9. JAM is not the problem.
It's not the problem.
Tochukwu believes JAM is.
JAM is not the problem. We need to address why you would need to cheat. That is a fundamental problem.
So the problem is with attempting to cheat at exams, at anything.
At anything. Because the truth is, we keep mouthing corruption. But when you look around our society, we are corrupt. Let me just put it that way. When I say we are corrupt, doesn't mean you are involved or I'm involved. But
the tendency
for an average Nigerian to want to
circumvent the system
or even circumvent relationship between individuals is on the eye side. So instead of addressing the issues of exam malpractices, the culture of exam malpractices, we left that because these things are in the open. I was just amazed when everybody were now pretending as if this is the first time that we know that people have specialized agencies for helping students with exams. Even up to law school, already certified lawyers go back to write law school exams for law students. I mean, so it is not a new thing. These things have been around for so long. I mean, most of the exam bodies in Nigeria are actually trying because they've gone so far to limit opportunities for people to game the system.
But let's interrogate what Tochukwu said a while back. He said something like, the military brought the unitary system of things.
I'm still good. That's what I'm saying. JAM is not the problem.
Okay.
Actually, that clearing house that is JAM for having the scores to get admission is actually good because if you have to be going from universities to university, it's going to cost you more. But if you have a centralized exam system that you can write their exam and then have a cutoff scores that you can take to any university that you want to get admission, it saves you a lot of money. Even Nigerians that are going to scrap board, they don't need to travel out of Nigeria to go and to be seeking admission. All you need to do if you want to go overseas is to write SAT. Once you write your SAT, you take your SAT scores around, and universities will tell you, okay, with your SAT scores, you are eligible to come here. So that's what
let me
doing.
go back. Tochukwu, you know, the West African Examinations Council is a centralized council.
Yes.
Nigeria, the Gambia, Sierra Leone, and Ghana, and so, you know, that's for secondary school students to prepare them for university. This thing, their results have a validity you cannot put.
Yes, there's a difference between the result of WAEC, NECO, and because
JAM.
you see, that one is a certification. JAM is not a certification. JAM is an eligibility score. WAEC is a certificate that you carry for the reminders of your. It's just like your BSc.
Yeah.
It shows that this student has gone through secondary school and is certified to be qualified for whatever you have studied in secondary school. So for your secondary school education, you have a pass. That is what WAEC results certify. JAM is an eligibility score. You are eligible with the score you have to enter university. Once you enter university, your JAM results
but the honorable member from Ekiti, as I said in my prologue, is saying making the validity of the JAM
more than 1 year.
More than 1 year. No, just 1 year is limiting so many students.
Yeah, it can be argued back and forth because, like I said, JAM is not the problem. JAM, even if you have 300, you will still be admitted at the discretion of the university.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the decision for you to be admitted lies with the university, and JAM cannot force a university to admit you.
was the object of the JAM exam?
That-
Because if you have, you can have 200 and the university can admit you. You can have 300 and the university can reject you.
It shows that you
So
are. There is a cutoff. There is a cutoff mark. Now there are other criteria. JAM is just one of the criteria for you to enter the university. It is not automatic that if you pass JAM, you enter university.
Yeah.
For example, I knew someone that wanted to go to a federal university. And when they got there, they said, the WAEC result that we need to process your admission, you do not have this, you did not do this subject. So therefore, we can't take you in a university because you must have that subject.
We can't take you in a given field.
They cannot even generally, because they said the 5 subjects that you need in WAEC,
that would
you did not do this.
Include
so
English and mathematics.
Yes, include English and mathematics. But because
it's general across board,
because it's the University of Technology. So as far as they are concerned, their own requirements, these are the 5 subjects that you must have for us to process your admission, whether you are doing engineering, whether you are doing a core science subject or something. So what I'm saying is JAM is not a problem. JAM is just one of the criteria.
So why don't you let the university in the first place make this determination? Why go through JAM and then
because even if you do SAT, does not
what is SAT?
SAT is student admission test. Okay. That is the exam that people do to gain admission into universities outside in Canada, in America, majorly in America, but some schools too in England will take your SAT scores for them to admit you. You've met that. Okay, you have a good SAT score. Fine, come. We can admit you.
Yeah, but gentlemen...
But do you have other requirements?
Gentlemen, let's not shut out the argument of the honorable member of the House. Validity of
and I'm saying
JAM admission for a given year.
For example, SAT has a validity of, is it 2 years? No, 5 years.
5 years. Okay.
But the schools would prefer someone that maybe 5 years. 5 years is too long. Okay, if you still bring a SAT score of 2 years to us, then we can still do it. Then I'm saying it is still if you make it 10 years and you are carrying a result, you go to school, they will just say, fine, you have JAM, but you've done this thing like 5 or 6 years ago. We don't think that is good enough for us.
Does
would
that
prefer
disqualify you after 1 year? You have to take a
that is what I'm saying.
So you can't,
if you have like I'm just using SAT, like I'm using SAT as an example, has a validity of 5 years. But usually universities prefer that
in Nigeria,
because
after 1 year JAM is not valid.
That's what I'm saying. There's still that's what I'm saying. It is not the.
That is why the honorable member of the House wants JAM to make its admission valid for 3 years.
And I'm saying that fine. There's no
and in making it for 3 years valid for 3 years, it will take care of a backlog and pressure on parents.
But you see, the universities like Norma, who look at it. JAM scores this year 2023. Oh, you scored 320, and you are coming because don't forget, if you score very high and beat cutoff, you will get admission. The universities too are looking for the good brains. Nobody is opening university to take $1 inside. That's why they do JAM. So that, because what he does is, are you capable of being a student?
That's what all the exams are trying to do.
So if you are now holding a 3-year course and you are adding 230, and somebody now, let's say you've done your own JAM in 2020, so it's valid up to 2023, but you had scored 260 and you didn't get admission then, and then this year there are students that are scoring 350 all over the place, you will still not gain admission.
No, that's
it is not of the university. That's what I'm saying. Because it is a competitive exam.
first of
So
all,
JAMB is not the problem.
No, one thing is validity, another thing is its invalidity. Another thing is discretion of the admission officer.
Yeah.
And you've said it that you can have your JAMB even with its 1 year limit and still not be admitted.
Yes, if you do not meet the all the criteria to be
those
admitted.
are for the admission office to determine, but let JAMB not just be for 1 year.
I don't have a problem with that. But you see,
keep making these comparisons that do not tally. Nigerian universities and American universities. In America, there are so many universities.
Okay.
So they don't have this backlog that you passed but you can't get in. Admission in America is like this.
Hold on.
You see?
One fundamental is that it's not like that. No, it's not like that.
I studied in the US.
Yes, you studied in the US. It is not like that because I have also tried to get admission for my son in the American university, so I understand how it works.
Admission, there are so many.
It's not automatic. It is not automatic.
No, it cannot be automatic.
So it's not like this.
But it's relatively much easier.
It is also easy here. In America, as a matter of fact, you know that if you do SAT 2 or 3 times,
yes, and
you do not pass, that is a minimum threshold, and you don't get that minimum threshold, you can't do SAT again. As far as they are concerned, you are not eligible to be a university student.
You will not get into the university ever. There's no such thing in the US. No.
Go and find out. If you do SAT like 3 times or 4 times, and your scores is below the minimum, SAT will not even allow you to, because university education is not compulsory. That is where we are missing it. That is why we are missing. No, basic education is compulsory so that we can everywhere in the world. That is where some
in Nigeria it is compulsory.
Everywhere in the world, basic education is compulsory, so that everybody would have a minimum level of education, and we can have literate citizens. But tertiary education, it is not compulsory. It is specialized, and you must be willing to go through it. But in Nigeria, we assume that university education or tertiary education is compulsory. It is not compulsory. University education is not compulsory.
It's not compulsory.
It's not.
In Nigeria, and
it is not compulsory anywhere in the world.
And it's hard. To
it is not compulsory anywhere in the world. It is hard to get to university anywhere in the world.
When you're trying to get a master's degree,
it is hard to get to university anywhere in the world.
Let's speak to the motion raised by Honorable Akintunde Rotimi. He says the validity of JAMB admission should be extended to 3 years, so that it takes care of the backlog of students wanting to seek university education in this country, and reduces the pressure on parents and supporters, sponsors, and if you understand.
Whereas in reality, and that's what I'm saying, you see, in formulating this policy, it's good on paper, but in reality, it does not solve the problem of backlog. Like I said, if in the year you took your JAMB,
say in 2023.
In 2023,
I wrote my JAMB.
You wrote your JAMB. You got maybe 260. Because you see, the cutoff sometimes, the cutoff sometimes that a university will take is subject to how well students perform. So if we have more students in the upper median and they get admitted in 2023, you couldn't get admission. You go to 2024 and you still fall below the upper median with your score. You still not get admission.
Yeah, then you can on your.
So it doesn't really solve the problem.
By choice, choose to retake, but your JAMB remains valid.
Yeah, it remains valid, but it does not guarantee you admission.
Guarantees you from what you're saying.
Because people must understand that before we now start having another problem of I have been carrying JAMB for the past 3 years. Nobody's admitting it. You must understand that you must still beat the criteria to enter.
One after the other. Yeah.
If the individual chooses to retake, or that's a question of choice,
then
you're not compelled to. Okay. So what the legislator is talking about is that validity for 3 years. That doesn't compel you to take.
Yes.
Some families cannot afford that yearly taking and retaking.
And the reality that I'm trying to point out is that, look, you have to make up your mind. Do I want to really go to the university and pursue it?
So the burden,
because carrying JAMB
to me
for 3 years does not guarantee you.
But even
So he has not.
so if for 1 year does not guarantee you.
Yes,
There
but
are
I'm saying,
factors
you
that
see,
make
don't let us have a false hope that it's a good. I don't have anything. It can be 5, it can be 10, but we must understand the reality of it. Is that it is the performance. Now you are subject. You are subject to the performance of the year you took it. You are also now subject to the performance in the year that you are trying to compete with. And at that time, you are second choice, not first choice. Because to the universities, they will first pick the people that did it this year.
Why are you speaking for them?
Because that is the reality. People must know the truth.
It has not been tried in the past. It now is valid for 1 year.
For places where your SAT is valid for more than 1 year, you are still competing with people that wrote SAT in that year, and they would have preeminence over you unless that year is a bad performance and your own SAT score now happens to be, when it is rated, higher. That's the reality of it.
That is beyond,
and those are factors that people must know behind their mind and program into whatever they are planning. You cannot ignore those factors. You can't ignore them.
Those factors do not evaporate if it's only valid for 1 year. So it's a factor that is there, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years.
Yes.
Okay?
And I'm saying that. So you see, this validity of 3 years still does not guarantee anything. I understand how we think in Nigeria.
Nothing guarantees anything.
I understand because now this is being used. This is being
if,
used like
if
it will stop. And that's why I said.
Guarantee anything. You still pass JAMB and not.
And that's why I said that JAMB is not the problem. So, but because we are taking JAMB and this solution as if JAMB is the problem. JAMB is not the problem. The problem still lies with the parents and the students to ensure that they do their best to get admitted. JAMB is just one of them. So carrying JAMB, you yourself, you would know. Nobody will tell you. The environment will tell you that you are carrying JAMB score for 3 years. Doesn't guarantee. We all went to school in this country now. We know how these things work.
Nothing guarantees.
But there is no. I don't have a problem with JAMB being 3 or 4 or 5 years.
Why is there a backlog?
But
why do people pass and don't get in?
Because there are limited spaces in the university. The university cannot admit everybody at the same time.
Everybody has met,
and that is why we have cutoff. Yes.
So you can pass JAMB
to
and
me,
not get into the university.
Yes,
to
it's
me,
possible.
but
has it not happened before?
As we sit here, we have federal universities
and state universities and private universities.
And private universities. Yes. So apparently, in the head of the listener, admission spaces are getting more. If you ask
still not enough to accommodate the number of students that are taking these exams.
Do private universities take JAMB?
Yes, everybody takes admission admission through JAMB. Private universities
are private
or inclusive.
But to me, are private universities regulated by JAMB exams?
They still take the scores too. They use the cutoff too. Now, 2 ways. They use the cutoff, and then of course their money is there. But they also use the cutoff. Because they also want brilliant minds that will come to their universities and do well. Because that is part of what they sell to attract people to come to their universities.
All right, dear listener, it's 29 minutes to 9 from here, Voice of the People Radio, 90.3 FM. And on Citizen Jones this morning, we're looking at JAMB admission validity. The House of Reps is moving for a 3-year lifespan for the admission validity. You know, does it really matter if you make the score for my score for 2023 to be subsisting until 2025? will it solve any problem? That's what we're looking at. And I have Tumi Olowe and Tochukwu Ezukama. Tochukwu believes that JAM is a problem. Tumi is saying, no, JAM is not. But let's look at the middle, which is the student, in this case, and the parents of the students. Tochukwu, every student, every prospective on a university undergraduate must first tell himself or herself, I want to go to school.
Yes.
And I will scale this test and so on and get admitted.
Yes.
So who is saying what?
Well, the student who wants to attend the university and who is serious about it, and the parents who are prepared to pay the way of their child through a university. Yeah, those two must be prepared. But the problem is that after this preparation, as far as this society is concerned, there's still a lot of stumbling blocks in the way of the students. You take the JAM exam, and then you go to the university. I think you take another exam.
At the university.
At the university.
Yeah.
And then they sorting out the corruption issues, the man-no-man issues, steps in the way. So a lot of indigent students pass these exams, but still cannot get in year after year because of the man-no-man element, the corruption element, and just the insincerity in the society.
Gentlemen, JAM came in 1978, and before then, I think we had about 7 federal universities and so on.
Regional, then turned federal.
Regional and then federal.
Then turned federal.
Yeah. There were admissions too.
Yes.
The universities had their peculiar ways of admitting students.
Completely autonomous. They made the decision. So what we did was, you apply to a given university, and on the day to take the exam, you come to their center. I lived in Enugu, so those centers were in Enugu. You take the exam, and the university tells you, congratulations, you've been admitted. Or we regret, we used to call it obituary, we regret to inform you that you have not been admitted. But it was solely done by the university. So all this JAM thing.
So JAM came to streamline, but you are insisting
to centralize,
to modify the admission process. But you are saying, Tochukwu, you are saying that because it was done in the time of the military government, it was not clearly thought out.
No, what I'm saying, it could have been thought out the military way, but the problem with the military is that authority, power is pyramidal. One man is at the top, and it determines everything. Advance, everybody advance, halt, you halt. So the military has a way to centralize authority, to centralize everything. NEPA got centralized. Before then, we had regional electricity producing corporations. The military centralized everything. Before, the regions were semi-autonomous
Put simply,
the military centralized everything.
Put simply, the military is the problem with Nigeria.
Because Nigeria has a lot of problems. Some of them predated the military, but the military compounded the problems of Nigeria.
Yeah, but to me, is saying this is not so, because when JAM came, students were admitted into universities without rancor, if you ask me.
And are still admitted into universities without
rancor.
And
are still admitted into universities without rancor.
Up to today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That's the truth.
Maybe we have different
definitions of the
word.
No. If I might drop the Joy Mesoma story here.
Yes.
She scored 249, which
is good enough for admission.
Which is good enough. 249 out of a possible 400 is a fairly good score, you know. And some universities in the country would readily admit her.
Yes.
That's the truth.
But because there was this attempt to
game the system.
Yeah. Impugn the system, and she was caught out. Don't you think there's something responsible for this? For
manipulating the system.
Manipulating. This manipulation has been on for years now.
The whole system is manipulated. Our leaders manipulate the system. The people we fed around are crooks, liars, and gangsters. The rich men in our midst, those in power, most of our politicians rig their way into power. Most of our businessmen are corrupt. Most of our very rich religious leaders twist the Bible around and list their members.
Children of rich Nigerians get through school the crooked way.
Yes. So what Mesoma did?
I didn't say all. I said most.
What Mesoma did is consistent with the tenor of the society. That's the way.
That's what I'm saying. We are corrupt.
We are corrupt.
So don't leave it to the leader. No. The leaders do not tell parents how to train their children at all. So if you train your child to be a thief, you cannot blame a leader for that. You train your child from your home. How can you be using a corrupt leader to train your child and be saying your child is corrupt because the leaders are corrupt?
In the past, for example.
That is irresponsible.
There was merit in the system. So you tell your children.
There's still merit in the system. There's still merit in the system. You will find it here and there. It might not just
here and there.
Yeah.
It's not a general trend.
Yeah, because Nigerians generally are corrupt. It's not a matter of leaders. If you are accepting a corrupt leader, it's because you too.
System.
Yes. It's the society that determines its value system.
The society.
No, let me tell you something. If you wear skimpy to some area, if you wear skimpy dress to some areas in Nigeria, people will shame you, not the leaders. And as a matter of fact,
what is wrong with wearing skimpy dress?
What is not wrong with it?
That's cosmetic. Those are not our problem. Wear what you want to wear. What is wrong with wearing skimpy dress?
You are dressed naked. It's actually an offense.
You said skimpy.
Skimpy is almost naked.
No. We'll separate the two. Walking the streets naked.
They are indecent dressing.
Yes, no.
I hope you know. They are indecent dressing. Yes or no?
There might be, but
is it there might be or they are indecent dressing?
The average lady does not walk the street.
They are indecent dressing, yes or no?
On Allen Avenue at night,
they wear it. Okay, that's indecent dressing. But do you know that you see some of it during the day?
Those are not our problem. A man gets drunk. A man has 2 girlfriends.
Hold on. We are talking. Hold on. Yeah. We are trying to establish that it's the society that determines its values. Yes or no?
That's determined the values of the society.
No, sir. No, sir. Not the leaders. It's the society.
Tochukwu and to me, when we say society prepares the crime, the criminal commits it, what are we saying in essence?
Society prepares the crime, the criminals commit it. I don't know what that means.
I would not, my child will not cheat. Because he can't even come to me and say, come and pay for somebody to write the exam for me.
Okay.
And I'm not going, because those are my own values.
That's your value.
Yes. And it's not determined by any leader.
And just like your children behave like you without knowing it, the masses behave like their leaders.
No. I am not a child. So no president, no governor will determine my behavior. Because I've been well brought up. Bring up your child very well. Don't be excusing that your child is misbehaving because the dealer is misbehaving. That is irresponsible. Which kind of a parent will say that?
There was an issue where a bunch of teenagers killed a man.
Okay.
Because the man's wife taught in their school, was a teacher, and complained a lot about the husband. So they went and killed the man. Mm-hmm. The father of one of the boys that shot the man carried the gun, carried the boy, handed him over to the police because he can trust the system. The system has not been perverted by
But we are still
the
using the
rulers
system
of
that
the
we said are
country.
perfect. We are still calling the police to arrest people for us now. Are we still not calling them?
That's what I'm saying.
Because
the man took his son,
yes,
took the gun,
yes,
and handed his son.
and there are still
over.
people that I know that
But
still
in-
take their children to
those
police
that
in this
ecce-
present day Nigeria.
Eccentric few. But
No,
in Nigeria,
that is not eccentric view because I don't know why being right is eccentric now.
But in Nigeria, where the children of the rich get away with so much.
So would
they
you,
will-
because of that, my child should get away with so much?
No.
The destiny of the children of the leaders is the same as the destiny of my own child?
Why would you send in your own child, whereas the child of those others who committed a similar crime are getting away?
So that is not justification for me to allow my child to become bad.
I'm talking about
But I'm saying because the society is made up of families. And if the families are getting it wrong, the society will be wrong. It's not a matter of leaders.
It's a matter of leaders.
No,
Leaders shape
that is
our
why
mindset
we are
and
being
behave like our
irresponsible in Nigeria when adults are saying that the way they set up their family is determined by the leader.
You don't say that. You
That is what we are
subliminally-
saying.
You do it subliminally.
Subliminally,
without
no,
knowing.
no, sir,
Yeah.
no, sir, no, sir. There is no. If you are saying subliminally you are doing it, then who are you? What are your own personal values?
Your own personal values
Yes.
is shaped by the society you belong in.
My own personal
For
values
example-
are not shaped by the value
For
system I
example,
belong
as we
because
go to
I would
church-
not steal. I will not break the law.
As we go to church, the pastors teach us way back about going to hell and heaven.
Even at
But
that, the Bible
our
says
pastors teach us
yes.
sow seed
The
and
no,
and that
because
is
even
influencing us.
if you are going there,
Yes.
the Bible says that you should read the Bible yourself. And if you do not have
And
knowledge,
how many
and if you
Christians read the Bible
and
themselves?
whose fault is that? The Bible is not available.
The Bibles are available.
Is it not available in different languages?
It is.
Is it not available in
The
audio?
average man.
Because you decided to leave your destiny to somebody else. You don't want to be responsible.
Our destiny is in the hands of a considerable
It's in our hands.
of our president.
No, it's not.
Let's go back on track.
My destiny is not in the hand of my
Gentlemen,
president.
To a considerable extent.
Listen. Let's go back on track because it's almost time for the listener to react. JAM admission validity. The House of Reps is saying, let JAM make the results the results they churn out to last for 3 years to take care of the backlog of students that cannot be admitted, and of course to reduce the pressure on parents and stuff like that. So what do you say? Let's take it home, gentlemen.
I think it's a good move. The pressure, especially financial pressure on Nigerian parents, because the average Nigerian is indigent. So when they get this money together and their children get to take the JAM and also the university exam that comes after the JAMs, let it be done once in a while and not repeatedly every year, in case their child or ward could not get into the university.
All right, to me.
I don't have a problem with JAM having 3, 4, 5 years, but we should have it at the back of our mind. It does not solve the problem of getting admitted into the university. And when we say indigent parents, they will still have to pay university fees. It's not free because we are moving towards when you now have to pay. We are going to university for free. Education, tertiary education is not free anywhere in the world. If you are not paying for it directly, some people have paid for it for you. So I'm just hoping that the government will get its hearts together and the student loan can be there so that you know that what you are doing, you are serious about it. You are just not going to play.
All right. Dear listener, you've heard both sides to the argument. JAM admission validity. The House of Reps is moving for a 3-year lifespan of the admission. You know, if the score for this year is 260, the House of Reps is saying let 260 remain for 2023 through 2025. So admission blues for the student can be reduced. What's your stay? What's your say? What do you say about it? 0700 903 903 903. let's get talking. I have a first listener here. Good morning to you. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, are you there? Okay. 0700 903 903 903. 13 minutes to 9. Let's get you talking now. How do you react to the subject matter? Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, citizens. This will be calling.
Okay, Obi, welcome. Let's go.
Yeah, I agree with Chiku and the legislatures. For me, it will reduce pressure on JAMB and also reduce pressure on the parents. Okay, I just want to ask the other analysts, the WAEC and JAMB, which one is more important? Thank you very much.
WAEC is more important.
Can last forever. WAEC can last forever.
WAEC is more important.
3 years. Why is it a problem lasting for 3 years?
WAEC is a certification. JAMB is not a certification. That is the difference, and that difference is very major. WAEC is very. You don't get a job employment and they ask you to bring your JAMB score. They will ask you to bring your WAEC.
All right. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, your name, where you're calling from?
Okay, my name is Mark. I'm actually calling from Ijeoma.
Okay, Mark.
Yeah, the point to be made is this. For instance, you score, let's take the Mesoma score, for instance. She scored 249. Perhaps she applied to Unilag, and Unilag does not admit her in this particular year.
For a particular discipline?
Yes, whereas in this particular year, this same year, there is a student that would have scored 200 or 220 that got admitted in another university. So with the same jam that she has scored that she has this year, next year, for probably a university that will admit for less. But the present situation is that once she does not get admitted by Unilag, then the whole effort is wasted, and the parents will have to raise another money next year to write another jam.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the idea. So it becomes valid for you. You can realign. You can change universities. You can even change course.
Yeah. Thank you.
Then the second point to be made is that our chartered accountant should be coming down. He seems to know everything. He should be coming down. He's also choking his face.
All right. Thank you. 0700 903 903 903. JAM admission validity. Reps move for 3 years. Do you support it or don't you support it? Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Welcome. Where are you calling from and your name?
Yes, my name is Owolabi Tope. I'm calling from Africa.
Okay, Owolabi, let's go. The line is still open. 0700 903 903 903. Hello. Good morning to you.
Yeah, Uncle Jones. Nemeka, they call back.
Nemeka, welcome. Okay then.
Daddy, thank you so much. One of the guests I said it all. We as a nation, we are all corrupt in this. Let's be honest to each other. We are all corrupt. Them that is as afraid that is talking about jump and all those things. They should start from the head. All of them will be our leaders. All of them, they should start from themselves to correcting this rot. Because now they started this forging documents where you send them to grassroots. Now they started them from up. They should start rectifying it from up there. That's why I'm always crying about education. No? Because if I remember, say I no go school well, and if I see say they mess up education for Nigeria, they mess me. Because all the future of this student is at stake. Their future is at stake. You don't see this little girl now as you go from a jam result because you learn it from them. Let's be honest. Let them start from themselves. Thank you, sir.
All right. So, what do you yourself say? Should JAM admission validity last for 3 years just to take care of the backlog of students' admission wahala? Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yeah, welcome.
My My name is Philip Socio-political.
Okay, then.
My take this morning is the issue about the leaders and the people.
No, we are not talking about leaders and people. We are talking about JAM admission validity. The House of Reps is saying, let the admission validity be for 3 years. Do you support it?
Yes, what I want to say, the discussion, what they said, your two analysts, they are saying about the corruption, about the leaders and the people. You understand? So, and the leaders, the character is left on the people. Because when Jesus comes, is our mentor. Muhammad is our mentor. The leaders is what the people look at. So, not the people. So, what matters in this life is the leaders. So, that's what I want to correct. That was my own contribution. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, too. 0700 903 903 903. We are talking about JAM admission validity. What you score this year at JAM exam, should it stay for 3 years?
Good morning, Secretary.
Yeah, I greet you. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm from Ayobo.
Okay, then.
Yeah, I'm here. What I just want to contribute is that the issue that education is not for everybody. That one of the debaters said, yes, it is true that the education is not for everybody. It's only for those who can afford it. But government must make an enabling environment. Make things easier for people to access the education. It will make it easier. Once they make it easier, things are more easier for people to acquire education. A lot of people will have interest in it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I did not say education is not for everybody. I said university education.
University education.
Basic education is compulsory for everybody. So please don't let us get it wrong.
All right. I have another call here. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Please come to the mic, so to speak. Come to the mic.
Network, I'm very close to my mic, as you are close to your mic over there.
All right.
Network that makes this kind of.
Okay. Yeah,
we
good.
have Ambassador Musba here from Wishi.
Ambassador Musba.
Yeah, Jones, I think for me, that can do more than 3 years. You could be for lifetime. You know, at least a wife. You know, of course, you have it. So you have jam, you have the stores, you have it. So to me, it's like exploitation. So let it be. More than 3 years. You have it. So this is what I think. Making money, declaring, at jam, you have declaring surplus, billions of dollars. It's like, I see as exploitation. Honestly speaking.
All right.
Let it be. You have it.
Thank you.
I love it like that.
Don't you want to react to that?
No. Well, you have it. That makes sense. But I think that's really stretching it. No?
The validity should be for life.
Yes. That's stretching it.
TOEFL, the Nigerians' rights, part of the immigration process. It's only valid for 2 years.
Let me take this other call. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning. My name is Ehi Oyameda. I'm calling from Kotun area of Lagos.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to say that extension for 3 years, is pros and cons. If you look at it, JAM will be losing money. Because those people who are to that validity for 3 years, that means they will not be paying money to JAM. And that would be very good because it will not be wise for you to keep paying. So that 3 years is very good for the students, for those who are aspiring to enter the university. But it will not solve the problem of admission because we are going to have a lot of pilot and people will still be struggling for the few spaces that we have. And the gentleman in the studio that was talking on very high voice, the other man was speaking calmly and he was just shouting. Let me tell you, the society is what they are the people that breed the kind of people we have. You can't rule that away. You can't rule that away because if you take a child, for instance, a child that
60 seconds are up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, to me, how do you close quickly?
When we are ready to face reality, we would face reality. We can keep deceiving ourselves. We would get what It's the way we lay our bed that would lie on it. JAMB is not a problem. I don't have a problem with 3 years, but the reality is that it does not solve really the admission problem.
Thank you. Tochukwu, how do you feel?
Yes, there's so much hardship in this country and so much pressure on parents. And most parents want their children to go to the universities. And repeatedly taking JAMB year after year does not help, especially when you're getting above the pass mark does not guarantee you an admission. So it's good that JAMB is valid for 3 years or 4 years, as the case may be. That needs to be worked out number of years.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll apply the brakes here. We should be here on Saturday next week. Bye-bye now. And see you next week.
Iruka, never settle for less.
We have been serving you hot and fresh content on radio, and you have been loving it. Now we're taking it further. Catch us live on YouTube at BOP TV for all the juicy content you can't resist. Talk shows, exclusive interviews, news, lifestyle, and more. It's all about you. BOP TV, show up, speak up.